It was in 1992 when they first met. After she found out that her husband wasn't ready to be a father. He was sweet and kind and said all the right words to someone that was broken. After 4 months pregnant, she started making excuses for his belittling behavior because it was her fault she's beginning to look fat. He screamed at her, slapped her across the face, and punched her in the stomach and said, "I wish you weren't pregnant with that thing." She fell to the ground, clutching her round belly, wondering what she did wrong. The months went by and her belly grew. His jealousy would enrage him, and she was to be punished for it. With the abuse and pregnancy taking its toll, she needed to rest. She called her sister to come and stay to help around the house. She really needed extra help for security. One afternoon, the two sisters were chatting, discussing the abuse and possibly a way to get out. Little did they know he came home early. He overheard them chatting. He burst into the kitchen door, grabbing her by the hair, slapping her in her face, and punching her in the stomach, slapping her again so hard her earring fell out of her ear. She was now fearing for their lives. Her head now races with what to do. As her sister runs to the bedroom to call for help, he ordered her to stop or else. He screamed that no one can leave and he'll make sure of it. He continued the verbal and physical abuse until the wee hours, reminding her how unworthy she is and her own husband didn't want her or that child. Didn't she know that he's sacrificing his own lifestyle to be with her? Unfortunately, Sally left the next morning, fearing for her own life, begging her sister to come with her. But she denied. She just needs to be a better partner, and things will change. He was always sorry for his actions, and she too made excuses to cover them up. At 8 months pregnant, he decided they need to move to a more exclusive area for a country view. Little did she know this is a stereotype of an escalating abusive partner. It gets harder to leave when you've been in an isolated area from family and friends, psychologically beaten down and financially controlled, physically threatened. Soon, abuse did escalate. Coming home early one day, he accused her of being unfaithful at 8 months pregnant. He screamed and yelled and punched her in the face, chest, and a very pregnant belly. He slapped her in the face, making her ear ring. He demanded that she tell him the truth, that she's been unfaithful. He continued for hours, eventually holding her down and raping her. As she screamed in pain, she knew no one could hear her. Her voice silenced, for she had blacked out. She woke up to feel the breath on her face. Fearing for her life, she stayed quiet until she had to ask permission to go to the bathroom, which he denied. Total control. He was not going to let her leave that room, fear she would call someone. Fast forward 2 days later. She knew she had to get out. An argument started up. He charged at her. This time she decided to fight back. As she swung her fist towards his face, he blocked it, causing her to feel excruciating pain all through her hand. It was days before she was allowed to have it checked, which they found out it was broken. She's supposed to make up excuse on how she broke her hand and make it believable, which she did. After wearing the cast a short 4 weeks, she was ordered to remove it because his sister was coming and he didn't want her to know about the accident. The baby was born and they moved to a new apartment. Things were good for a little while, but then the abuse started again. They asked, why does she stay? Why didn't she leave? He came home one night very drunk, and with no reason, he climbed into the bed, grabbed her around the throat, hands over her mouth. She couldn't breathe, fearing for her life. She knew he was going to kill her. There was a dark presence in the room. She fought for air. As he continued holding her hand over her face, she prayed, "Dear God, please save my life. How am I going to get out of this?" She thought maybe she could jump out of the second-story window, but then no, that would leave her child behind, and for sure, he would kill him. She stood there, begging God to save her life and her child's life. She made a promise to God that she would live her life to help others. All of a sudden, she felt his hand slip away from her face. He collapsed on the bed. Did he black out? Is he asleep? Is he playing a game? As she sat there motionless, she waited, scared to even breathe. She knew she had to get out in order to save her and her child's life. She also knew that if he even thought she was going to leave him, she knew she wouldn't make it out alive. The next morning, he apologized. He wanted to make sure everything was okay. He's so sorry. She assured him that everything was fine and forgave him. After he left for work, she called a friend to come and pick her up and her child and a very few belongings. Take her to the police station to file a restraining order against this person. Someone asked why. Why now? Why didn't she do it earlier? She finally found the strength to do it for the love and safety of her child. Don't judge. Perception is not reality. She was one of the lucky ones. And that she is me. This is my story. You see, I was raised in a Christian home to Christian parents who happened to be physically and verbally abusive. I was raised to keep my mouth shut and reminded that when it's my fault when my father would hit me or that my mother would be verbally abusive to me and that I wasn't even worthy to be a Christian. God was disappointed in me. So they ask, why is she with someone like that? Because she was raised that way. She didn't feel worthy. She never felt like she was good enough and she had low self-esteem. That's what abusive people prey on, the weak and unsure. Today, I'm grateful for the life that I have. Has it been easy? No. But my life is worth it. Remember, you have a choice today. Reach out to the Muncie Police Domestic Violence Unit at 765-747-4873 and get the help you need today. I'm telling you, God made you special and your life is worth saving. Thank you.